Hello, it's a trade of the day, Monday night Zoom editions, Crypto CJ, and we've had a very interesting weekend. We had fear and dismay on Thursday and Friday with some bank shutdowns and some other FUD. But over the weekend, the federal regulators came to the rescue and they said they will bail out Silicon Bank and some of those other mischievous financial entities, and all is good today. Bitcoin's up almost 10%, hit that 24.5 level and got swatted down, but kind of hanging in there over 24 last I looked. Let's go to the chart. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin. Nope, let's make that a day chart. I was looking at something else earlier. All right, Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Thank you. So look at these big fat green candles. We like these. But got that strong resistance at 24.5. And we just touched on it briefly earlier today, but can't seem to break through again. So this seems to be hardcore resistance. We'd like to get past this and see if we can push through 25K up to 28 and 30, but we haven't been able to do that. Had several touches back in February, then a pretty big drop. And then today's our first return in March to the same level, just kind of hanging around. And let's take a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum towards the middle top of the range. It's going to face some pretty strong resistance at 1700. It didn't quite make it today to 1700, but again, I think in the next day or two, it'll probably push up there. It could even be later today. So I'm not sure what to make of this. There's still so many things that can go wrong with our economy. I don't know if the whales are just getting off their arses and finally jumping into this market. Maybe they like what they see. Any theories, speculations, opinions you guys want to share about the market overall?
It's fun trading it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm digging this range. Yeah, in my next Zoom, we'll talk about some success I've had, and it's pretty good trading for day traders. So, we have a range like this. This one's pretty big. I can narrow it down a little bit. We've got it between about the smaller short-term range between about 21.7 and where we are now about 24.1, 24.5 in that range. Lots of action here, so good stuff for day traders. Okay, anything else on the market overall before we go to Altcoin Alert, see if we can find some trades? All right, let's see what we can find.
Well, also, today's the 13th. Remember,
Good point.
Doge.
Good point. I've got my Doge chart poised and
Doge.
ready. I was going to talk about that, but we'll talk about it now since you brought it up. I just missed a good entry this morning at 7 o'clock my time. The buy signal went off on the supertrend, but I didn't really get around to this till about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and it had already broken through resistance. So I didn't take the trade. I do have an alert. I was hoping for a pullback and then another buy signal, but I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know. It's not. I probably won't trade anymore today after this. So not looking good for my Doge trade. If it pops up during this call, I might jump in. But anyway, the what I call the CPW monthly Doge trade.
It looks like it's had its dash.
I think you might be right. Yeah, we had a nice pump
And
here.
that probably
That's
had
great.
nothing to do with Doge, but what the market has done today.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. But hey, superstition is a valid
Especially on the 13th,
consideration
right?
in trading, I think. So kind of like being a sports fan, if you wear the shirt and the team wins 4 or 5 games in a row, then obviously it's because you wore the shirt. So
Of course.
anyway, all right. So that's our Doge setup, and this is my support and resistance layout with some other indicators as well. I've talked about this off and on. So if you're having some struggles identifying support and resistance, and this is a really good indicator for that, since I'm on it, I'll go ahead and remind you guys how to find it. Support and resistance levels with breaks. It's Lux Algo free indicator. Good stuff. Okay, let's go over to Altcoin Alert. And I am on the altcoin radar setting. Going to reload this, get this up to date. And on the AA sort, I've got Aon. I tried to find this. I could have swore I traded this before, but I couldn't find it on TradingView. So I went to ENJ. It's a coin I trade from time to time. Engine coin. I was looking at it earlier. Starting on the 5-minute chart. I think most of these charts are going to look pretty similar. We're going to have a little dip in the wee hours of the morning, then a really big pump. ENJ is up, 11%. Some of these are going to be 15 to 20%. Some of these altcoins, with Bitcoin going up 10% today. But I don't see a good entry. We're in a squeeze right now between the Bollinger Band and the SMA line, 2% between the Bollinger Bands. Squeeze City, don't like it. Seeing support down here at about 39.40 cents. So that'd be a good place for a price alert. Right click on the chart anywhere that's not an indicator and set your, maybe go 39.5 cents. Then for alert name, I like to use the information source, which is this case going to be an AA score, and then you're good to go. Additional support is pretty clear to me right about here, 37.5 cents. So those are the two areas I see for short-term support on the 5-minute chart. But as you know, I prefer to do alerts on the 15-minute chart. So let's go over there. And we're going to look at trend, divergence, and the stochastic RSI. Whichever one looks the best is usually the one I choose. Sometimes I choose two. Start with the super trend. Again, we're going to see this kind of set up all day. The buy signals are really good. That one triggered on Saturday, almost 4%. If you hung in, you would have got this move too, 13%. That's a really good trade for a day trader if you stay in that long. I probably would have gotten out around 3 or 4% on 5 or 10x leverage, but that's how I roll. So this buy signal did really well, over 7%, like that. Even the sells did okay. I mean, this sell from Saturday, 2.7%. You're probably going to be on 5 or 10x leverage. This one, you probably get stopped out. And then on this one, if you're conservative, you get that 2% and bail. If you hang in there, you're probably either ladder buying or stopped out. So the buys look good on the super trend. On divergence, again, a quick refresher. Divergence is the disagreement between the price action and the indicators. You see when prices are skewing up like they are, you'll see a lot of bearish divergence, and vice versa when they're trending down. So all the bullish divergences did really well. No surprise with the price action we've had last day and a half, 4% there. Big move there, another big move there. So those are really good movements on bullish divergence. If this market's going to trend up like that, this might be the ideal way to get in, because you're going to catch that pullback and then get a good entry. Quick refresher on divergence. I'm using the divergence from any indicators version 4. Easy to find here on TradingView. And again, version 4. There's a version 3. I don't like it as well. Go with 4. It does repaint, so keep that in mind. And I like the non-repaint as a confirmation. I forgot to go over how to I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. And then what I like about this indicator is it's really alert friendly. You'll need a separate one for your both negative and for positive, whichever one you're trading. Go with once per bar close. That'll help keep repainting down. And then alert name, AA score. And then just do the same thing for this one, for positive divergence. Make sure you click that option. Okay. And then on supertrend, if you're trading on spot, you're going to want to go with the buy option. If you're on leverage, you want to go both directions. That's what I usually do, direction change. That's why I like this one so much. Once per bar close, give it a name, and you're off. So, and then finally, the stochastic RSI. I haven't been using this one much lately. And I think we're going to see, again, the setup pretty consistently, that any cross on the stochastic RSI is going to be a pretty good entry on a long position. So we have a cross here, get a nice move. Another one here. Again, another really nice move. Here. But you get the idea. So, and if you want to do an alert on the stochastic RSI for a spot trade or a leverage trade going up, right click. You want the K line, which is the blue line, to go below the 20 and then cross back up again. So we're crossing up, value 20.00, and alert once per bar close, and alert name AA score. Okay. I went through those pretty quickly, but most of you guys are seasoned veterans, so I thought you could handle it. Any questions on any of those options with the Engine, the ENJ coin? All right, let's see what else we got. That was an AA score sort. We could do something similar with a DGB, AVAX, Quant, and Lena. I want to play around some of these other sorts. I've been using this one more often, the 1 hour projected sort. I'd like to look at this Aeon, but I don't know where it is. So this is intriguing. GRT, it's got an upper 6.4%, an average of almost 3, and a lower 0.6. So this is, if these numbers are accurate, this is a low risk play, not financial advice. It's up 14.9% today, but that's towards the high end. But given today's move by Bitcoin, nothing outrageous. Could be some room for more. Let's look at GRT and see what we can do with it. Again, we're too late for an entry on the 5-minute chart. I'm seeing support here between 14.2, say 14 cents. Again, down here at around 13 cents. So those could be potential price alerts. On the 15, super trend. Buy signal's looking really good. Sell signals, not so much. Yeah, all these buy signals look good. Divergence. Again, all the bearish signals look good too. So you can't really go wrong with any of these. Stochastic. Might be going through these coins pretty quickly at this rate. Really good entry there. Sideways. Slight dip there, pretty good. Slight dip there. Yeah, you would have caught that big move. Next one is here. So a dip and then a pretty good move up. Did you have to ladder buy that one? Maybe. Not necessary. Get the idea. All these indicators are on the ball as far as pointing out good trades on these on the most recent moves in the market. Any questions on the graph, GRT? Okay, so that's the 1 hour projection. Another sort I use frequently is this long-term sentiment matched up with the elder impulse. Recall that the long-term sentiment's the Twitter data, what people are talking about online. We're gonna match that up with the elder impulse, which is a technical indicator. If I'm gonna sort by, let's go to the elder impulse. And we don't have any bullish matches at all, which kind of surprises me. Well, this is getting a little repetitive. Let's look for something bearish then. Intriguing. Okay. XTZ and Civic are throwing off bearish signals. So if you're an experienced trader and you've moved into leverage, looks like we are getting a drop right now.
We are.
Yeah, Bitcoin didn't hold 24K, so that doesn't surprise me. So now might be a time to consider a bearish move. Let's look at XTZ. Tezos. Again, they looks the same as the other charts we've looked at. We're looking for bearish, so we're looking for something like this: 1, 2, 3 pump, and then a drop. So could ride this trend here if you think it's going to keep going down. Yeah, I don't really see. I think if you want to catch a price alert type thing, you go with a $1.10 on this one. That's probably where you'd start on the 5-minute chart. On the 15, supertrend. Again, the buys have done well, but you know, this sell did okay. You know, about not quite 2%. And I'm looking for a short. I tend to like divergence more than others. And the recent divergence alerts have done pretty well. 3% there. You'd probably still be in this one. Not quite 1% yet, but if the market continues to trend down, that might be where to go. So I like divergence for a short alert on this. On the stochastic RSI, none of these did very well until this move here. We got the cross instead of the blue crossing under the 20 and pushing up. We want the orange to go over the blue, go over the 80 and then come back down. And we've got that cross here and a decent move down. Like 3 or 4% looks like, well, almost 3%. Then it happens again here. And you'd probably still be in that trade, probably about close to 1%. So is this a slight little pullback or is this a direction change? Hard to tell. Okay, any questions on the short we just looked at on Tezos, XTZ? Okay, well, we're about 25 minutes in. What else can we look at? Let's look at the 24-hour change on Altcoin Alert, then we'll bounce over to iCoinPro. Okay, 24-hour change. We got some big movers. SNX had a really good day. Filecoin as well. So these are a couple you can look at if you don't think they're played out. I'm usually looking for like 8 to 15% move if I'm looking for a trend to ride. I did trade file today. Let's look at that one. Okay, 5-minute, trending down a little bit. And resistance around 655 to 650-ish. Comes back up there. Does a drop, pull back, and then a big drop, and that would be the place to get in on a price alert. On 15-minute with our indicators. Yeah, super trend looks like all the others have. Yeah, buy signals look pretty good. On divergence. Yeah, these both the bullish and the bearish did really well as of, last night. On the 15-minute chart, all those look pretty good from that point forward. On the stochastic, I don't know, guys, these charts are getting repetitive. I hope you're not getting bored. This was kind of frustrating for me because I wanted to trade both directions today and test something I was working on, and I couldn't. Everything was going along. So,
Well, I got a bunch of longs and shorts today. It was ranging so nicely.
hmm.
And by the way, Bitcoin just turned around at the bottom, so it might be a good long.
Yeah,
for
you
to
might be
take.
right. I can see that. All right, well, I'm getting tired of this. So you guys know how to do the stochastic RSI alerts by this point. Okay, any questions on these or Altcoin Alert before we head over to iCoinPro? Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin.
It hasn't clearly turned.
Yeah, you're right. Just a little dippy do there. Not even 1%. So, all right, iCoinPro, the home of the 1-2-3 dip. That's where I learned it. And they have their fear and greed index link. Might as well check it out. We're allegedly in fear now. It's usually 1 day behind. So we were fearful yesterday. We feel better today. At least I do. So the two info sources I like are the RSI Spy and the Buddy Coin Crawler. Go to the RSI Spy first. You see me talk about the stochastic RSI on the 15-minute time frame. This is sorting by the 1-hour RSI, and I'm looking for values on longs of 30 and 30 and below. There's quite a few here, but these are all Bitcoin pairs, and I don't like to trade those, so that doesn't really help me that much. I don't get a USDT pair till I'm still scrolling. Yeah, I'm into the 40s now, so I'm not gonna look at any of these based on this. I get a lot of my shorts this way because I sort of the opposite, and I get values 70 and higher. And we're getting some USDT pairs here, but in this situation, you got to know that if it's something that's traded on an exchange that you can actually buy short on, leverage exchange. And again, you shouldn't do that until you have some, pretty significant spot trading experience. Assuming that you do, look at seller here. I think I traded this one today. It's got this drop-down menu, which is convenient. Click on Trading View. It'll bring up a 5-minute chart of the last layout that you have. So here we are on the 5-minute chart on seller. And it's looking pretty similar to all the other ones we've looked at today. Support down here at around 1.67 cents. Here about 1.83 cents. 15-minute super trend. Little dippy there, but you know, like Craig pointed out, that may just be a little pullback. We'll see. All the buys look pretty good, and the sells did okay as well. I have been using super trend kind of as my default if I don't really see something obvious. So that could be an option. We haven't had bullish divergence since yesterday morning. And these bearish ones did okay. This remains to be seen. You'd still be in these trades if you gotten in to any of these today. RSI. On the long side. Yeah, these all did really well. Without going all the way over here. Yeah, you'd probably still be in that trade. Oh, that's, may have to think, may have to rethink that alert noise. Wow. Okay, we've got a super trend going off on KNC and Kava. Intriguing. Well, let's check those out. You guys can benefit from a little work I did this morning. KNC. Oh, it's on a different setup. It's, yeah, one I haven't really talked about yet. Well, let's pull the super trend, see if it's yeah, it hasn't triggered yet on this chart. I have some different settings on a different layout, so never mind. Where were we? Yeah, seller. Okay. Get rid of that. Let's see what else we can find in the RSI SPY. If I'm using the super trend and I'm using both directions, and I don't really care whether it's a, you know, it's an RSI that's red, that's usually indicative of a short, or one that's green, that's usually indicative of a long, because I know it's going to range throughout the day usually. So I just want to see something that's been moving, and that's what the RSI SPY will show you, as will the next one we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and look at one more here. Well, Bitcoin's in here. Interesting. Anchor. Yeah, I traded that one today. Starting to get kind of cluttered with some charts here, so I won't open another one. Okay, 5-minute looks a little different. Pumped a little sooner, but not really. Support at around 3.37 cents. Getting right about here, around little 3.1 cents. Down here, right about 3 cents. 15-minute. Divergence. Actually, let's look at super trend first. And yeah, these did really well. Sell did okay, almost 2%, a little over 2%. These sells retraced back. That one not so much. So yeah, definitely the longs are doing better than the shorts here. That's been the trend, everything we've looked at. Again, bullish divergence here yesterday morning, but none since. Bearish, not doing well. RSI, yeah, it looks pretty similar to what else we've looked at. All right, any questions on Anchor? Let's go over to Buddy Coin Crawler. And this is one I like just to show me that what coins are moving. I sort by the average low to SMA line. You can get a shorter term sort with the current low to SMA. So that's not a bad way to go. Render looks interesting. I'm looking for values 4% and higher. The average low to SMA is a 24-hour low to the SMA line, which is the kind of pinkish red lines you see between the Bollinger Bands. And then this is a more updated version of that. So let's look at render, RNDR. I have it open here. We looked at this one already because I had to I had the chart open. Oh well, I guess we'll go over it again if we have. I don't think we have. Okay, 5-minute support here around 114, 115. Again, well, we're almost there at 123. Could be in a dip sequence here. We've got a little bit of a squeeze and a bubble forming. And going one dip, coming back up. We get a dip sequence. Could be a good entry on a long. I can usually catch these dip sequences with some of my 15-minute chart indicator alerts. Usually the RSI will work pretty well in catching those. But if you prefer to catch the trend, we just got a sell signal here on render. So that you may want to consider that. But overall, it's been the buys that have done well most recently, as we've seen on other charts. Got bearish divergence a couple hours ago. And that's done really well. You know, we're down 6.5%, 7%. It's a really good day trade. Interesting to see if this will take a hard tumble after going up 15, 16% today. And the RSI, let's look at both directions. So we got this cross here, blue crossing the orange, coming up from the 20. And so that'd be a long, eventually did well. Let's get this. This one, the orange crossed the blue right about here, and not bad. You know, over 3%. And so we have a cross here, caught that move. This cross here would not have done well. And nor would that. Cross here on the long side, dip and then pump. You get the idea. And this one eventually would have done well on the short side. And same with this one. So stochastic's doing pretty well. If you want to trade it both ways, you've got to go with an alert that goes up from the 20 and down from the 80. You can adjust those numbers as you see fit. Well, most of the charts look the same, so repeating myself isn't too appealing for me. You guys have any questions about the setups we've looked at or anything else with day trading or Altcoin Alert or iCoinPro?
I have a question.
Okay.
It's to do with an indicator. It's to do with two indicators, actually. I'm using the money flow index and the momentum.
Okay.
But I don't know how to read them. Are you able to explain that?
The MFI or the money flow index, I think is a lot like the RSI that we just went over. So
what's it actually telling us when it's down? Does that mean money's flowing out?
Money's leaving. and then money's entering. Now, how they exactly determine that, I'm not sure. Probably has something to do with what's flowing in and out of exchanges. But yeah, I confess I don't know exactly how that one works, but a lot of people like it, and I used it for a long time. So I
Say,
decided
Craig,
it was too similar to the RSI.
I'm gonna chime in on that momentum indicator. When you're looking at the candles on the 1 minute chart, when you see a red candle, momentum starts pointing down. When you see a green candle, momentum starts pointing up. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I use momentum on this setup here as I don't trade off of it, but I use it for confirmation. So like if I've got an alert on this buy on the super trend, you know, momentum's coming up, stochastic's trending up, you know. I'm it's a little risky to go through resistance, but yeah, momentum can be a good indicator for confirmation. And I've seen a lot of, you know, YouTube videos that like this indicator and use it for that purpose. So looks like Oliver's having some success with it too. So
I
can
find
comment.
the RSI lags a little bit behind the momentum.
okay, Terry, you had something?
Yeah, I can comment on the money flow index. That's like taking the average price of a candle. So it's not exactly the average, but it's taking the high, the low, and the close, adding those together, dividing by 3 for a value, and then you're multiplying that by volume. And then it does a calculation of the like you set a look back period. So like the example is like a look back of 7. Like I use an FI of the 7th period look back. So it'll take the last 7. Like if there were any positive values in the last 7, it'll divide that by any negative values in the last 7 candles. And that will give you like the ratio of like positive to negative values. And that is your money flow index. So it's like
Okay.
average price times volume, and then you're just dividing positive volume by negative volume to see which one has more.
So it's just math. There's no inside track to what's going on with the
No.
actual money going in and out.
Well, I mean, yeah,
guess
I mean,
that's-
volume is how much money is there.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
true. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that clarification. Any other questions? Okay. Trying to think if there's somebody I need to talk to, probably later. All right, well, I'll wrap it up here. If you're watching on the recording, thanks for doing that. Please check out the pinned comment for opportunities to help support the channel. If you're into carbon, please stick around. We'll start that Zoom shortly. Have a good one.